Fine, no? Okay. So, yes, I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. And did you try yesterday's data sync? Completed, huh? Super. How about online? Okay. Sonu Reddy is asking, sir, can I please get Linux class recording? I am AWS, sir, not Linux, sir. So you need to check with your admin. Okay. Check with the admin or mentor, someone, whoever it is. So you will get it from there. So I don't have any. Who is your admin? Huh? For Linux? Prem, huh? So Sonu Reddy, so please contact Prem. Okay. So he will support you for the recordings. Okay. So yeah. So guys, you have mentors available, no? Afroz, you have mentors available, and can you also book that virtual labs also? Try to book that. Please try to utilize Afroz. For these kind of things, we have the mentors. We are paying for them, right? So please utilize it. Of course, I can help you out. So first try with them. If not, I will step in. Okay. Sharada. So it is up to you, Sharada. You need to take time and do the practicals, right? So my point of view, my part is to deliver, to make you confidence on the subject, to show you all the practicals, but it is up to you whether you need to do practicals or not. So take your time. Why do you worry about that, Rahman? Huh? Why do you worry on that? Don't worry. We'll take care. Okay, so today what we're gonna do is guys, if I see these kind of messages, I'll get somehow a little bit upset. So this guy is saying, sir, real time work here. I'm not getting time for practice. What should I do? If you're saying like that, what should I do? Should I stop classes? Or should I stop doing practicals? Huh? You attended the classes, you paid for it, and for what purpose? For learning purpose and for doing the practice. Tell me honestly, I am also a real-time guy. I also have into 100 times work than you. If you really want to speak real facts, don't I manage to come and teach? Tell me honestly, don't you get 1 hour time? Honestly, tell me. Let me ask my other people, online experienced people. Experienced people, don't we have even 1 hour time in the entire day? Tell me honestly. So definitely time will be there. It is all about priorities. So you need to prioritize the work. If you are not prioritizing, you cannot succeed further. So let's say, for example, you're going for a nice trip. Let's say Goa. Will you plan it accordingly or not? From this time to this time, we stay in a hotel. This time to this time, that beach. This time to this time, personal work. From this time to this time, lunch. And you will be planning superbly, even though in hectic time of one day of plan. So don't say that you don't have time. That is really bad wording. Everyone will have time. The only thing is you need to prioritize. If you start prioritizing in your real time also, it will help you a lot. So this is my suggestion. And time nikalna padta. You have to take time. If you want to succeed, if you want to move further, you need to take time and do it. No practicals, right? Not good. Don't say next time. Sorry for this, because I don't like this kind of backstepping. It is all about backstepping, right? Don't underestimate by yourself. So as I said, you're genius, you're good. Just move on. Okay. Fine. So today, I understand I'm giving a lot of practicals, but it's good for you only, no? In other trainings, they don't give the, I don't think so. I will not talk about other things, people, but I'm giving lot of real time and lot of hands-on practice. So please take time. And how much time did you take for complete these practicals? Tell me offline. 20, 30 minutes. 30 minutes. You don't have Rahman? 30 minutes? Then don't say that next time. Okay. Fine. So, guys, when I'm little bit harsh, that is for your good purpose only. I can skip saying that, okay, Rahman, take time and do it. But why I said all these things? Because you need to prioritize your work, because that is very important in real time and in your life also. Okay. Fine, Nana. Okay. So let's move on to today's service. What is today's service? Storage gateway. What is that? Storage gateway. Storage gateway. So, do you remember in our overview section, we discussed a little bit on storage gateway, right? Storage gateway, as the name clearly says, what is the gateway about? Storage. What gateway is this? Storage gateway. So, I'll tell you the problem and I'll tell you a solution for it. So, in your on-premises, where Nana? I'm talking about on-premises today. In your on-premises, you might be having so many servers and so many storages inside it, and you will be having a lot of data. Assume in on-premises, you have so many servers, so many laptops, and what you need to do is you need to save the data somewhere. Yes or no? Let's say morning to evening, you'll be working on some data, Nana. End of the day, the data need to be backed up somewhere or not? Where are you backing up? Storage. Where are you backing up? Storage. And your admin need to back up that storage also, right? You all will be backing up to the storage. Admin will back up the storage for safer side. Okay. Now that storage is assume 1 terabyte. After 6 months, this 1 terabyte is sufficient. You're all putting a lot of data. 1 terabyte is not sufficient. So admin will increase to 5 terabyte. 5 terabyte sufficient. If you have more projects, 10 terabyte, 20, 30, 50, 100 terabytes. Your storage is 100 terabyte. And if you want to take the backup of the storage, again 100 terabytes. Double. And if you have 100 terabytes also, if you get a new project, again there is a storage issue. And you guys will be saying that there is no space, no space, no space. Assume you are a storage admin. Who? Storage admin. So you are managing the storage. All your employees will putting the data into the storage. You are managing the storage and you're taking the backup of the storage. So now your storage is 100 terabyte. And again, new project came 200 terabyte. And backup also 200 terabyte. Is it easy to handle all these things? No. So every time, either you need to increase the storage, you need to purchase the storage, or you have the space issues all the time. Now, please be in that storage admin place and think. Everyone are coming to you and say that there are no space, no space, no space, even though you are increasing in terabytes. You will get frustrated or not? Just be like a storage admin now. Everyone are coming to you and saying this, no space. You have purchased 100 terabytes. After 2 months, again, they will come and say no space. So for that reason, how do you feel? I'm asking your feeling. How do you feel if AWS says, please use my storage services in your on-premises? Like S3. S3, use it in your on-premises. EBS, use it in your on-premises. Glacier, use it in your on-premises. FSX, use it in your on-premises. No. So how this will help is, this S3 is limited storage or unlimited storage? Unlimited storage. In on-premises, you have your laptops, no? That S3 will be mounted as a D drive or another drive in your laptops. Instead of storing in your storage in your on-premises, can you store it in S3? Do you have any storage issues now? So now you are utilizing storage services in on-premises. So on-premises is a private storage. AWS has a public storage. And what is the private and public called? Hybrid. So in certification, you will be asked like this: what is the hybrid storage in AWS? Which service is that? Storage gateway. You understand the problem and solution for it? So if you want to utilize S3 storage services in your on-premises, then go for the storage services. Understood? So I'll put the diagram for it now. Don't worry. So it is used to transfer the data from on-prem to AWS and vice versa. So from on-premises to which service you can transfer the data? S3, EBS, Glacier, and FSx. So let me put the architectural diagram for you. So assume this is on-premises. On-premises data center. Now in on-premises, you'll be having so many servers or not? You will be having so many servers. In on-premises, you will be having so many servers. What kind of servers? For example, can I say this is a web server, some app servers, you have DB servers, you have all your workstations, etc. In on-premises, you have so many things. And also in your on-premises, you have the storage. On-premises, you have the storage. How much? Let's say 10 terabyte. Is it sufficient, Nana? This 10 terabyte is sufficient? No. So what we need to do, in on-premises, we have the storage issue, space issue. Now I want to leverage AWS services in on-premises. So which service we will be choosing it? Storage gateway. Which service is Nana? Storage gateway. So Chitty, here is the AWS. Okay. In AWS, what are the storage services that we have? Number one, S3. S3 is what based storage? Huh? Object-based storage. Okay. And S3 we have. And then what we have? EBS we have. And then we have Glacier. And also you have FSx. So all these are all, EBS is what based storage? Block-based storage. And Glacier? Object-based storage. So like this, you have it. Nana, do you all agree that based on requirement, which service you need to use when? Let's say, for example, in on-premises, I have a lot of files, photos, and everything. So which services do you choose? S3, no. So you'll be using S3 in your on-premises. So guys, remember, from on-premises and AWS, if you want to transfer the data, what you need to have in the between? Agent. What we need to have? Agent. Like other services. But here, agent, now if you want to sync or if you want to transfer the data from on-premises to AWS, where should the data, where should be the agent should be? On-premises or AWS? On-premises. And that agent, we call it as storage gateway appliance. What is that called? Storage gateway appliance. See, this storage gateway appliance should be where? In your on-premises. Storage gateway appliance. Storage gateway. And what we call Nana, this is appliance. So actually, either you install storage gateway appliance like agent, or can we use AWS AMI? Like how we use for data sync AMI. Similarly, here also storage gateway AMI, appliance AMI will be there. We'll be using that AMI. No need to install the appliance manually. Okay. Okay, Nana. So this storage gateway appliance should be on one of the virtual machine or not? Will be installed on the virtual machine. Okay. Fine. You're getting it? Is this clear till here? Online, you're getting it, Nana? Okay. So I have put two things, on premises and then AWS. So in on premises, we have the storage issue. Now I want to utilize AWS storage services in on premises. How? Using storage gateway. And so first of all, what I need to set up here in on premises? Storage gateway appliance I need to set up on one of the virtual machine. Okay. Now storage gateway appliance setup. Now in AWS, these are all AWS storage services. And which service that we need to choose now? Storage gateway service. So in AWS, we have the storage gateway service. This is the storage gateway service. Storage gateway service. AWS storage gateway service. Okay, now? Okay. So now we have different types of gateways now. In storage gateway service, there are different types of gateways. Number one, we call it as file gateway. Say that. Number one, which one? File gateway. Number two, volume gateway. Number two, which one? Volume gateway. Number three, tape gateway. And number four, FSX gateway. So how many are there at the moment? Four. What are those? File gateway, volume gateway, tape gateway, FSX gateway. What are those again? FS gateway. So file gateway, volume gateway, tape gateway, FSS gateway. Now, based on a requirement, we need to create the gateway. Now, let's say, for example, in on-premises, you want to push the data to AWS. And that in on-premises, the data type is files to object, files to videos, back, etc., etc. Now tell me, which gateway do you create? File gateway. File gateway meaning to which service it is attached? S3. So if you want to utilize S3 in your on-premises, which gateway you need to create? File gateway you need to create. And if you want to utilize EBS in your on-premises, volume gateway you need to use. And if you want to utilize Glacier, then tape gateway. And if you want to utilize FSX, FS gateway. Now understood? So I am giving left to right. On the left side, we have on-premises. Right side, we have AWS. Now we want to utilize AWS storage services in your on-premises. How? Using which service? Storage gateway service. So in storage gateway, we have different types of different gateways. What are those? File gateway, volume gateway, tape gateway, FSS gateway. Now, if you want to push the data from on-premises to AWS, agent should be there, no? For that reason, we have installed storage gateway appliance in where? AWS on-premises. On-premises. So in on-premises, I'll set up a virtual machine and I'll be installing storage gateway appliance. Do I need to install? No need. You can use directly image. AWS will provide the image for that. So it doesn't have EBS. It doesn't have FSS. It supports only S3, EBS, Glacier, and FSX for the moment. EFS is completely different because EFS is for what base? Yes, for what type of operating systems? Linux. But this one, whatever we have it here, it can be Linux also, it can be Windows also. Okay, Nana. So now, so if you want to use S3, what type of gateway that you need to create? What type of gateway you need to create? File gateway. What gateway here? File gateway. Okay, so and we are attaching the S3 to the our on-premises row. So it is using NFS. It is using NFS. So what? So file gateway works on NFS protocol, which is which type of operating system? NFS meaning Linux. For Windows, remember we discussed this. What is full form of SMB? Server message block. Server message block. You understand? So file gateway works on which protocol? NFS and SMB. Say that one more time. File gateway works on which protocol? NFS and SMB. If I want to use the Linux machines, then which protocol I need to use? NFS. If I want to use Windows machine, SMB protocol. You understand? So if you want to use S3 in your on-premises, which gateway you need to create? File gateway you need to create. So if you create a file gateway, what will happen? So all the data you will be putting into S3. So first of all, you will be connecting to the storage gateway. Storage gateway will push the data to S3 automatically. So basically, you are mounting S3 through this here. Whenever you put the data will come here and you'll go and sit it over here. So you are not directly putting it here. Through storage gateway, through file gateway, it is going to this. Okay, so that is file gateway. So now I don't have now files, photos, but I want to execute. I want volumes. I want to attach volume here to my servers, to my on-premises. So which gateway you need to use? Volume gateway you need to create. Simple. So volume gateway is nothing but we are attaching to whom? EBS. Volume gateway. Okay. In volume gateway, there are two types. One is we call it as cached volume, and another one we call it as stored volume. Say that. Cached volume, stored volume. What is that? Cached volume, stored volume. So in volume gateway, they have two types, cached and then stored. You tell me which one is faster, cached or stored? Obviously, cached one. Because let's say, for example, whatever the data that you're putting in your EBS, you are not directly putting it here. So basically, it will be cached here and it will get reply from here itself. So, guys, this storage gateway appliance will have something called cache disk. What is that, Nana? Cache disk. So whatever the data that you're accessing from EBS, all the frequently accessed data is stored here. Now all your customers will be connected like this and you will get the data like this. That is called cached. FSX is only for Windows. Harsha is asking, what is the difference between EFS and FSX? Didn't we learn about this? EFS is for which operating systems? Linux. For Windows? FSX. Simple. FSX can be used for Linux? No. EFS can be used for Windows? No. So in FSX, you can go for Windows 1. Okay. And we have the volume gateway, Nana. So EBS volume can be attached to your on-premises. Next. Let's say, what is the next gateway? Tape gateway. I'll tell you a little bit small story on the tape gateway. What is tape? Tape backup. What is that? Tape backup. I still remember in my first job in Infosys, right? I used to work in the data centers. In the data centers, there are so many servers and I'm responsible for the backups. One of the responsibilities is backups. All the employees will be storing the data in my storage. What is my responsibility? to take the backup of the storage. So how do you take the backup of the storage? Remember, on those days, we used to have something called tapes. Do you know tapes? Have you seen tape? Tape. Dig, ring, ring, ring. Recording tapes. Remember? Cassette. Right? So that cassette will be there, but it is not, you might have seen small cassette. Okay. Have you seen VCD? This much big cassette will be there, no? Similarly, it will be like that only. Right? So you'll put that cassette in the VCD. That is called, here we call it as tape library. What is that? Tape library. And we'll put the cassette inside the tape library and we'll start the backup. And all the backups will be inside the tapes. And Monday, I'll put one tape. Second, Monday, Tuesday, one more tape. Like this every day, night, I need to take the backup in the tapes. And those tapes, I'll go and physically store in the big locker, Godrej locker. That is my final backup. I'm taking the backup in the tapes. Where should I keep that? I need to keep safer or not? If I keep outside, if he fell down, if someone stole that, it's difficult. So what I used to do, we have a big locker in our ODC, Offshore Development Center, and we'll put it if some like, earthquake happen or fire things happen or something natural disaster happen, nothing will happen to my Godrej locker. My backup is safe inside it. And if I want to retrieve, I'll take the tape, I'll put it and I'll retrieve the data. This is how I used to take the backup in olden days. Still many people, okay, now we are storing in the Godrej locker, no? Nothing but archive. Instead of archiving in the Godrej locker, now can you archive where in AWS? Glacier. So if you want this, if you have this kind of data, and if you want to archive, so which gateway that you need to create? Tape gateway you need to create, which is connected to Glacier. So tape gateway is also similarly same thing, but it is not physical tape. We have virtual tapes. No need to put the tapes. So here we have something called tape library, tape gateway. What is it, Nana? Tape gateway, which is connected to Glacier. Tape gateway. This tape gateway has something called VTL. What is it now? Virtual Tape Library. Using virtual tape library, we'll be taking the backups and all my backups are stored inside the Glacier. You know very well, in Glacier, one archive can be how much terabyte? What? Entamma? I'm saying in Glacier. Huh? No one, huh? One archive can be up to how many terabytes? Huh? Huh? Okay. You mute. So go back to your books where in S3 storage classes. Go back to S3 storage classes. There I have there is one storage class called Glacier. And there I have mentioned Vault. And one archive can be up to 40 terabytes. Good memory power. Right? Understood? So we have learned, but you have missed it somehow. So why I have asked you to move back the papers, now we will remember. So what is the maximum archive you can have? 40 terabytes. One single archive. Like this, you can have unlimited number of archives. How many vaults you can create? 1,000 vaults. Oh, very good. Okay, Nana. So that is about the tape gateway. And what is the last one? FSS. So if you want to have a shared storage and want to use, that is the FSS gateway. That is also recently introduced, not the old one. recently introduced. So this is FSX gateway. Okay. Is it clear? Everyone understood the architecture of your storage gateway? And I bet this kind of diagram, nowhere in the world you will get it. No documentation, no tube, nowhere you will get it. Because this one I have personally drawn on my paper, right? So by seeing like this, you can easily understand. And file gateway works on which protocol? NFS and SMB. What is that? File gateway works on which protocol? NFS and SMB. And your volume gateway works on, what is it? Kasi, huh? No. ICICI. ISCS. So is it possible? Is it your tongue is twisted, correct? ISCSI. So instead of that, in real time, we call it as ice kasi. What is that? Ice kasi. So ice kasi. What is the one we call? Say that ice kasi. So just habituate. So whenever you see this kind of protocol, we pronounce this as ice kasi. So don't worry about this protocol, and your volume gateway, tape gateway works on ice kasi protocols. Nana, is this clear, everyone? So from on-premises, you can move the data to S3, and from S3 also you can do it move the data to on-premises. This is also one of the storage service in AWS. Is it clear? Online, is this clear till here? CC, please. Super. Now we need to do the practicals on this. But this is the combination of your on-premises and AWS. But do we have on-premises? Can we do the practicals on this? Yes or no? Can we do the practicals on this? Actually, no. But do we miss any practicals? No. So what I can do for you here is, so this storage gateway appliance, the main thing is storage gateway appliance in on-premises. That will be on virtual machine. Now, what I'll do is, I'll have this on EC2. My storage gateway appliance, assume that it is on EC2. EC2 is nothing but, assume for now it is on-premises server. And you have this web server, app server, DB server, work server, all these are servers only, no? This is also one of the EC2 I'll put. From this, in this EC2, if I put the data, my data should be available in. Okay, out of this file gateway, tell me which one we'll take for practicals now. S3? So which gateway I need to create for that? So what is the example that we take for now? As you said, let's go for file gateway. So now I will put all my, from on-premises, if I push the data, my data should be available in S3. In on-premises, I need to push the data. That meaning I need to have one sample server, that is EC2. And in order to take this data, I need to have agent, that is also EC2. And in storage gateway, which gateway I need to create? File gateway. And then the file gateway will push the data to S3. How many EC2s I need to set up here now? 2 EC2. And in storage gateway, file gateway, and then S3. So to make you even more clear, I'll do this for you. So this is what? On-premises. On-prem. Huh? Did I set the joke? On-prem? It's not prem, huh? Okay, so it's on-prem, and This is AWS. Okay. Now we have two. So this is private, that is public. What kind of storage is this? Hybrid storage. Okay. So in AWS, so what is the target that we have? S3. This is S3 bucket. So, and by the way, when I try to create S3 bucket, that should be public or private? Go with always private because we are within the AWS now. It's a private, no? On-premises meaning your company and you are connecting to the VPN. So always you go for the private. So S3 bucket, private is there. Okay. Now, here in AWS, what we need to set up? What we need to set up in AWS? What gateway? So storage gateway service. So in AWS, you have storage gateway service. Inside the storage gateway service, what gateway you need to create? File gateway. So file gateway you need to create. Okay. Okay, coming to on-premises. What do you need to set up in on-premises? Storage appliance. So this is the storage appliance. Storage gateway. Gateway appliance. So this is on the virtual machine. And when I set up like this, it also has some, what is that? Cache disk. Then. So you need to have one sample server or not? Here, you need to have a sample server. So, okay. So now, do we have on-premises? So what I will be considering this as? EC2. So now this virtual machine is nothing but EC2. And this is also nothing but EC2. So this is, I'll go with our favorite, T2 micro. And what type of Windows or Linux? Linux. Linux meaning which protocol that we need to use? NFS. And this is on premises, this is AWS. So our agent need to get connected to a storage gateway service or not? So these both should be connected. Otherwise, will it work? It will not work. So these two should be get connected. Okay. So now, guys, this file gateway also need to get connected or not? Yes. These two need to get connected. So here, for this, we need to create something called file share. What is that? In file gateway, what we need to create? File share indicate that file share is connected to S3. So finally, when I push the data, when I log into this machine, and guys, here, it will give the mount path. What is that? File gateway will give the mount path, which is mounted to S3 and which is also connected to appliance. That mount path, you need to mount it here. So whenever you put the data here, automatically data, where it go? Through this Through this, the data will be stored inside the S3. So AWS will give the mount path. That mount path, you need to mount it in your EC2. How we are mounting EFS? Similarly, we are mounting here S3 bucket in your on-premises. S3 bucket is mounted through file gateway and storage gateway appliance. So when you do CD into that file system, and whenever you put the data, automatically the data is getting stored inside the S3. Is it clear? Architecture. This is how we need to set it up. Please see this architecture. Guys, see, I'm making it very, very simple for you. Actually, understanding this storage gateway is very little bit complex. But do you understood? See this diagram for a few seconds. Then you tell me what need to create first and what need to create second. See the diagram. Here role is not required. Because we are creating a file share, no? Role will get automatically created. Ready? Yeah. Tell me, what is the first thing that you need to create? That is the last one. Okay. So for testing purpose, we will do this last one. So first I will go to the storage gateway service and try to create a file gateway. First, we'll decide to create a file gateway. What's the next one? So while setting up the file gateway, it will ask, Babu, where is the storage gateway appliance? Because file gateway needs to get connected to the storage gateway appliance. So what is the second one? Second one should be storage gateway appliance. Third one should be S3 bucket. Fourth one should be creating the file share. Fifth one should be setting up the EC2 instance and then connecting to it. So first, and by the way, this is 1.1. So we need to get connected from file gateway to appliance. If you are confusing, remove that. No, 1.1. Clear? Clear, no, everyone? Do you have any questions? No, right? Clear, no? Aram se will go. If you have any questions, please ask now only. I'll give few seconds. Question? Tell me. వద్దులే సార్ ఫీల్ అవుతారు ఎందుకు that's how his feeling is. Question at should I move on? Okay. So I'm repeating this again. First, what we need to do is we need to go to storage gateway service and try to create what? File gateway. There are 4 types of gateways, no? File gateway, volume gateway, tape gateway, FS gateway. So based on requirement, you need to create a gateway. So as you suggested, which gateway I need to create? File gateway. So file gateway, we'll try to go and create it. When you're creating a file gateway, what will happen? It will ask, Babu, I need to connect to on-premises, no? Where is the storage gateway appliance? For that, we need to launch one EC2 instance and set up storage gateway appliance. And you will get the IP address. And that IP address, I will give it to the file gateway. And they both will get connected. So these both will get connected. Once they both are connected, now I need to create a S3 bucket. S3 bucket is created somewhere, but how does it is connected to storage gateway service? You need to create a file share and create a file share and give the target as a S3 bucket. So once you create a file share, then it will give the mount point. That mount point, launch one sample EC2 instance and mount it over there and put some data there in mount point automatically through here, it will get stored in the S3 bucket. Okay now? Okay. Now let's move on and log into the console. What? Rest of the services. Yeah. Here we create file share, there you create volume. Here you create file share, there you create tapes, like that. Okay, tell me now, what is the first thing? Okay, by the way, I'll tell you one heartbreaking news. This practicals is not free. It's okay. Huh? Okay. One more heartbreaking. Generally, we like T2 micro, but to make this work, I need M5 X large. And also, cache disk, I need 150 GB. Huh? Huh? Okay, now good question. Now question is, sorry, Anta, you're bargaining with me. How much cost? I told you already how to see the cost. How? So M5X large, how much it cost? Go to EC2. So for these practicals, I'll tell you, go to instance type and search for which one? M5X large. How much RAM? 16 GB RAM. And you're going for Linux or Windows? Linux. And how much is this? This one. So dollars to INA and this. And your practicals will cost you 16 rupees per hour. Fine, no? Fine or not? So, okay, sir. Then go and you can do the practicals. So that's why I said, so you have this and 150 GB hard disk is a volume is there, no? For that also. And remember, to set up this, I don't know whether I told you this or not. There is something called AWS estimates. What's that? AWS estimate. Do you see? AWS pricing calculator. I'm giving this URL. This is very, very important in your real time, guys. Please write down your book. AWS estimate. Is equal to AWS pricing calculator. AWS pricing calculator is used to estimate the cost for your architecture solution. Estimate the cost for your architecture solution. Remember, in real time, what will happen is you will be talking to customer, no? You will take the requirement from the customer and he'll come and say, what is the customer? He will ask. He will tell you all the requirement. And with that requirement, he will ask 100%, he will ask this question. Cost. How much I need to pay per month for you? Yes or no? You're going to rent an apartment. What is the first thing that you ask? How much rent per month? Here also, they will ask, okay, I have given the requirement. You set up the everything. How much I need to pay? What is the budget? How do you find out the budget? Using the pricing calculator. I'll give you one small example. Then it is same. So click on create estimate. Let's say, for example, for this, guys, this is also a project or not? This is also a project. Okay. So for this project, how much we can estimate? So customer is asking, give me the budget for this. Let's do the budget. So you are using here M5X large. So which service? Okay. So region, which region, Nana? Mumbai. Mumbai. And which service? EC2. And do you see this here? Click on configure. Okay. Now let's go one by one. Tenancy, shared or dedicated? Shared. So as per whatever you have learned from me, you have the knowledge on that. Which ones to select, what to not select, you know. You will only tell me. See, shared instance or dedicated? Shared. Operating system, which one? Linux. So here, number of instance, how many? One. Okay. So which instance here? Go for insert. Which one? M5 X large. Select that M5 X large. Okay. Do you remember we discussed this? Pricing models, savings plan, on demand, spot, reserve and everything. So which one we are using here? On demand. Select the on demand and assume that you are using 100% of usage. Okay. So other purchasing option is reserve instances, convertible. Remember all we discuss all these things. So, okay. Now EBS. You have EBS also, no? So which type you are using? GP2, how much? 150 GB. You're using GB, MB, terabytes. Select that. So if you want to take the snapshot, select the snapshot. You want to take daily snapshot, however, but I'm not taking the snapshot now. Detail monitoring. There are two types of monitoring, basic and detail. Basic is free. Detail is billable. But if you want the detail monitoring, select any kind of addition. But I don't want. This is enough for me now? Yes. So for this, how much it is estimated? Save and view summary. Okay. So monthly cost is 164 USD and yearly cost is this much. I'm saying monthly, not hour. So you understood? Like this, you need to give the estimation to your customer. Simply export this to CSV, PDF or whichever it is, or you can share it to the other persons and easily they can understand the budget estimation of your entire solution. So I have given only EC2. Can you add another service? Add service, and which one we are using? Storage gateway. Go with the file gateway, select, watch based on requirement and then estimate it. This is how you estimate. Remember. So for this, how much is the cost, Nana? 16 rupees. So you can do the practicals on it, but make sure to delete after that immediately. Okay. Okay. Now, obviously there is a question. Estimation is different as per different regions. As I said already, every region has little bit difference in the pricing. Not heavy, little bit difference will be there. So what is the first thing that we need to create? Storage gateway. So let's go to the storage gateway. So listen this carefully. Sir, estimation is billable? No, Babu. That is what? Here your estimate. So you got scared with this amount? No. So it is just estimation. So it's not billable. Okay. You no need to even log into the AWS account for doing this. Huh? Okay, Nana. Storage gateway. Storage gateway is regional or global? Regional only. So here, let's go and click on create gateway. Okay, Nana. Gateway name 9 AM file gateway. I'll say time zone Mumbai. Do you see which type of gateway we need to select? I told you how many gateways are there? 4. What are those? File gateway, tape volume gateway, tape gateway, FSX gateway. In volume, how many we have again? Cached, stored. Which one you need to select now? File gateway. So let's select the file gateway. So file gateway. Platform options. That meaning he is asking for the appliance. Nana, in your on-premises, it is virtualization only, no? VMware. So if you select this, you can download the template and then automatically that storage gateway appliance is already installed on it. So directly you can create a virtual machine in your on-premises. So at the moment, where I want to have my storage gateway appliance? EC2. So which one I need to select here? EC2. Getting it? Now we launch EC2 instance. What is this EC2 instance? Storage gateway appliance. It is a storage gateway appliance. So we are launching it. So if you click on launch instance, automatically launch, but it is using default setting. Is it good to go for default or customize? Don't go for defaults. So let's click on customize. And when you click on customize, it is giving Babu, you click on customize, that meaning you are responsible for launching the EC2 instance. And make sure that you follow all these steps. We'll say, okay, no problem. So let's click on launch instance. Once you click on launch instance, automatically AMI will be selected. That AMI contains appliance already. Do you see this here? So here, what is this? Storage gateway appliance. Okay, na? Which one? Somehow a little bit different feeling, no? If you select M5 X large, huh? Okay. So keep here, this one. Edit, go for 1A. Select existing security group, select. And 80 GB is fine. And what I need? Additional volume. For what purpose? Cache purpose. So here I need to click on add new volume, and then I'll go for 150 GB. Which one? I'll go for GB2. That's for cache purpose. And then nothing else. Should I go and launch? Super. And what he said? Launch instance type M5 X large VPC auto assign inbound rules storage in storage gateway. How much he asked to set up? 150 GB, and then launch instance. Once the instance status check is complete, then I need to copy the IP address of the EC2 instance. You want me to write all the steps? Huh? It's okay. For now, I'll write. What's the first step? What is the first step that we did? Go to AWS storage gateway console and create a file gateway. After file gateway, what we did? Launch EC2 instance with M5 X large having root volume. How much? 80 GB and additional volume as 150 GB GP2. We did these two steps. Okay, what's the next step, Nana? So it is asking, Babu, in security group, he is asking to you do the inbound rule 2049, this number. So you need to 445. There's so many port numbers you need to enable. Instead of that, can I enable all traffic for now? But in real time, will you go for all traffic? No. Select the individual numbers and then add the port numbers. But for now, I'm going for all traffic. So here in security group, how to select all traffic? Tell me. Inbound rules, add which one? All traffic. I call it as anywhere. Or you can select my APIs, no problem. Okay. But in real time, is it recommended to do that? Enable all traffic for default security group. So this I did it for temporary. In real time, use necessary rules. Okay. Okay, let's go to our storage gateway. So did we launch the EC2 instance, Nana? And it is still initializing. Let's wait. So what you need to do here, copy the public IP. And did you completed all the steps, launching machine? Yes. Now click on next. Then it is asking for what? IP address. Which IP address? Appliance, storage gateway appliance, IP address. Paste it. Because these, now you're setting up file gateway and you're setting up appliance, they both need to be get connected. Okay. Using IP address. So what I did here, fourth step, what I did now. So continue on storage gateway console and then connect to the gateway. So provide EC2 instance public IP. Number 5. So now I have given the IP address, public accessible or VPC hosted? Publicly accessible, because we are in the internet now. But in real time, because you are connected to the VPN, so from on-premises, you can go with the public accessible. Now click on next. Okay, fine. So now I click on next. Now I click on activate gateway. Now I click on activate gateway. Now what is doing? Preparing local disk. Local disk meaning how much we have? 150 GB. What is that? Cache. So it is now loading that cache storage. Once it's loaded, we'll assign it. Do you want any log groups, CloudWatch logs? So what do you do? Deactivate it. Do you need any alarms now? Click on no alarms. So just, okay, now we waited. And do you see this here? 150 GB is there. Now unallocate a cache. This for cache. And then click on configure. That's it. File gateway got created. So what we did here, fifth step, wait until to get the gateway active and allocate additional 150 GB volume as cache. So file gateway got created. What's the next step? File gateway created, appliance also set up. We need to create a S3 bucket. Public or private? So let's go to S3. Create bucket. And call it as 9 AM private storage gateway demo. So let's give some name. Disable or enable? Disable, check on. So just click on create a private bucket. So private bucket got created here. So here create a S3 private bucket. What is the next step now? We need to create a file share. So go to our storage gateway here. And it is, refresh it, it is running or not? So see here. Now what? You create tapes, volumes, file share, FSX. Because which gateway you are using? File gateway. If you are using file gateway, for that purpose, you need to create a file share. If you are using volume gateway, create volume. If you create a tape gateway, create tapes. Understood? So which one I need to create here now? Create file share. So which gateway? Here, 9 AM file gateway, select it. And which protocol? We are using Linux machine. Go for NFS. Which bucket you want to get connected? 9 AM. See the connection. I told you the file share. And from file share, you are connecting file gateway to the S3 bucket. Okay. So now you have the option here. Create file share or customize configuration. Which one? click on customize configuration and see what else. So do you need any logs? Disable the logs. So that's fine. Click on next. And then here, S3 bucket is fine. S3 but prefix, it is optional. So prefix is what? Subfolder. If you want to have all the data in subfolder, select. Otherwise, it will go to the, by default, it will go with the root. So by default, all your storage classes is standard. So IAM role. You asked, no? Surya, IAM role. So IAM role will be created automatically by the file gateway because it needs to get connected to S3, you know. So two services cannot talk to each other by default. So this will create automatically a role for us. And so that's fine. This fine. File share name is this fine. So do I need to do anything here, Nana? No, basically nothing. So I think everything is fine. I feel everything is good. This is optional. So it is encrypted or not? It is encrypted. So file share name, it is pre-filled automatically. File share name will be pre-filled. Okay, let's click on now. Next. So as you're using NFS, they have changed the console now. In the last practicals, the console was different. So for that reason, I'm nagging here. But NFS is fine. So client access, all NFS clients. What's that? All NFS. So anyone can connect to our file share. But if you want any specific clients, you can specific network range you can provide. So for now, let's go for the all NFS clients. Access type, read write, both are read write. So everything is fine. And do you see here? Automatic cache refresh from S3. See, I told you in this diagram, all the data you're putting in S3, no, here. And data again, you're fetching and using it here. Instead of going to S3, can I have all the data here sitting and then access from here only? So if the data is there and it has to cache in the cache disk. So this cache disk will go to S3 bucket and try to fetch the data. How much time? In how much time? It's up to you. That is called cache interval. Do I need to fetch any data now? No. So don't do any changes here. Now click on next. And so in this place, in my previously, I used to put 0.0.0.0/0. But it says now all NFS clients. Let's see whether they're able to connect or not. Otherwise, we need to come back and then make 0.0. Let's see. And click on create. So what did we create in here? File share we created. So I'll write it here. What we did after creating S3 private bucket, create a file share from storage gateway console. And what we did, and while creating file share, use which one? NFS, all NFS clients, you need to use it. Rest, leave it defaults. Now file share also got created, Nana. Now, as I said, once the file share got created, it will give the mount point, no? So let's see whether we have that mount point or not here. It is still updating. Let's wait. It says now unavailable, but don't worry. It will give this kind of jerks many times for me. Let's wait for some time and it will be available. If you open this, do you see the mount point here? So I need to take this mount point and then mount it where? This is a mount point. As it is using NFS, what is the first thing we need to install? Yum install -y NFS utils mkdir. That is an EFS. Here, file system, you can give any name. And then sudo, and then mount it. Mount to whom? Space, mount to whom? File system /. So just now we created, no? Just now we created the directory. You're mounting this entire thing to this one. And now what I need to do? I need to go in CD file system. And here, if I create any file, test.txt something, where should I see this file? Where? S3. Okay, so what is the next step now? So we create SCV and file share got created. What is the final step? We'll launch one EC2 instance, small T2 micro, and then we'll run all these commands. And then we'll create a file, and now that file should be seen into the target S3. So now let's go and launch EC2 instance. So call it as test. Red Hat. T2 micro, 9M batch. Edit it and go with 1A. Select this security group. And then quickly go ahead and then launch. Now you understood what we did? What is the next steps here? Launch Red Hat Linux EC2 instance. Which one? T2 micro. After that, we need to run these commands. Let's see. So I'll take the IP address. It is still initializing. So appearance. Okay. What is that? EC2 minus user. Sudo minus s. Yum install nfs. Minus y nfs. Because we are using nfs, no, for that reason you need to install the nfs utils. Okay, nfs utils got installed. After that, mk directory. You can give any name. Next, mount, no. So, see, can you see mount minus t nfs blah blah blah. What is this IP address? Whose IP address is that? Appliance IP address. And what is this? S3 bucket. And you are mounting S3 bucket through appliance to this directory. So I take this command and then put it. And then I go CD files. Now where I am now? Indirectly where I am now? S3 bucket. So this is my normal server. If I use df minus h, it is show disk file system. Do you see this here? My S3 bucket, I am mounting as a mount point to my EC2 instance. This is unlimited storage for me. How much ever I want to put, I can put the data here. Do I need to worry about the storage? So this EC2 instance is now EC2 instance, but in real time, it's a virtual machine in your on-premises. In on-premises, you are mounting S3 bucket to your on-premises. Now what I do? Touch some test.txt file, some file. Now where should I see the file? S3. Now whatever I'm creating, it is in S3 only. I'm not going to S3. I'm mounting S3 in my on-premises. So I don't have any storage issues now anymore. So now if I go to S3, if I see it, if everything goes good, then I should be able to see the file here. Ready? You see how much we have done till now? So the answer for this is, there we go. Labs. So this is not an easy task, because you see how much, so much of architecture that we have done, and we have integrated multiple services here. S3, data, what is that? Storage gateway, EC2 instances, NFS file systems, right? So this is the multiple integration services. This is how you should learn AWS. So it is not good to learn only EFS, not good to learn only storage gateway. So what you need to do, you need to integrate things. Understood? Now? Where we have set up and where I can see the files here. So now the file is now copied all the way from your on-premises through storage gateway appliance, through file gateway, through file share. It will go and sitting into the S3 bucket. This is called storage gateway. So if you in on-premises, you don't need to worry about the storages anymore. So you can use the storage gateway option to move the data from your on-premises to AWS, or you can sync the data, or you can, whatever the data that you don't want to put it in on-premises, you can use it, you can put it in S3 or storage services here. Clear? Online, Nana, is it clear, Chittis, everyone? Another wonderful real time. Of course, everything is real time, but this is more even pure cruel real time things. Everyone understood? So good thing for you is I have put entire steps here in this page. Don't follow the steps, but if you got stuck, then follow the steps. So you see the architecture and try to do this. Any questions? So what is the next thing? Clean up, because this is M5X large. So let's not keep it for a long time. Terminate it. And S3 bucket also, delete it. S3 is clean. And gateway, you have options to stop, delete. You can edit the information, everything. So I'm deleting it. Yeah. So I don't have any file share. I don't have any tapes, nothing. Storage gateway is clean. And EC2 instance also is down, shutting down. And there is one culprit will be there here. Additional volume 150 GB will remains. So this is the mainly people will do the mistake. So please go to the volumes and try to delete that 150 GB. Very important. It's still shutting down. Meanwhile, take the screenshots. By default, it will create one AMI. Do we need to clean up? Did we create AMI? We used AMI. We didn't create AMI, of course. Sir, if you are knowing, if we knowing our console live timings for audit, what is that? Sir, if we knowing our console live, if we knowing our console live timing for audit data, I didn't understood that question. Take this screenshot also. Anjan Kumar, can you please reframe it? If we knowing our console. Okay, so we have covered so many storage services, and from Monday we are jumping into database services, which is very, very, very important. So which service? RDS. So from Monday, we'll be talking about the RDS, a lots of hands-on. So a little bit theory, more hands-on. Okay. Huh? Why? Who said? No. You'll see. Okay. So, why you are stuck with S3 browser? Huh? Ayyo, what nana? S3 browser download. Go to download. We just set up not using a. So download. I saw your email, Nilma. Please allow me some time. S3 browser is downloading. Whatever you are performing on S3 console, you can perform here also in S3 browser. So it is an alternate thing to your S3 console. Simple as that. Because if you are a developer, every time you need to log into AWS, go to S3 console, open, create bucket, so many clicks, no? But you have the tool here. So I'm installing the tool. Yes. I accept. Next. Next. Finish. Do you see this here? I'm closing this. Do you see? This is the tool. What you need to do is go to accounts, add a new account. And here you need to give your access key, secret key. You know how to give. And click on add account. Once you add account, what will happen? Your existing buckets. Now, do you have any buckets? So I'm asking you to clean up every time. So create one bucket there, and that bucket will be listed over here. You can create new buckets here also. You can create, you can refresh. See everything you can upload here. You can download, delete, new folder, refresh, everything. Permissions, headers, properties of your bucket, everything you can see from here itself. No need to log into AWS console, S3 console. So this is a tool that you can use it for easy purpose. That is what I said to do that. Okay, Nana. Good. So can you give the final CC for today? CC with smile, please. So please complete the practicals.